Hey, last day, it's bright. Just back at it again today. Um, yeah, I think today is very focused on understanding about the open mind and opportunities that we um, may have missed or open mind. Yeah, I think it's having that open mind. It's basically open mind. It's it's a topic of what it is to be open-minded. I think open-minded means that it's the ability to consider anything is possible, and that's one of the most important understanding of the last day. Is it possible that today's last day? Hey, it's totally possible, right? Totally possible that today's the last day, right? Is it possible that humans can fly? It's open to the possibility that humans can fly. We just don't know it. Yeah, some people looking at this, you're crazy. What do you mean? What do you mean humans can fly, right? Right. It's just the understanding of how we get to here we are today. We build trains, we build high rises. It just only 100 years before, we can only build 2 to 3 4 high building levels of building. We have now high rises that are 1 kilometers high. That's just wow. Just think about that, man. So the day that we're able to travel through to anywhere in the universe, well, it's gonna be there, right? It's about understanding that anything is possible. We have the ability to fly. Like, I'm not in a machine, but we can fly. Right? We just haven't unlocked that possibility to be open-minded. Right? Obviously, we still need to confine to the law of gravity and whatnot. I'm not telling you to jump off a building by all means, right? But having that open-mindedness is to consider the possibility that anything is possible, and and um, and that's where I think a lot of people have not yet reached that level of open-mindedness. We are very confined of based off of what we know and understand, and which is part of our comfort zone, right? So that's why that's where my focus is on. Also focusing maybe on using a last day concept here and just to expand it a little bit more on focusing really on the self-development aspect, which I think I'm really going towards as well. Just having daily success talks, providing that value to the community. Part of my last day. If today was my last day, I want to do me be providing a YouTube video and a content that I'm able to pass on to the human to the next generation, and hopefully it brings some value to them. And I think that's part of the last day concept, leaving something behind, right? To this last day, what am I going to do to make my affairs making sure that my assets even distributed. It's about planning for your last day, and I think that's the mindset and possibility where we don't see it, right? We're in the coronavirus time, and obviously currently stage it's a little bit more, there's more relevancy, and people are able to maybe associate that a little bit better. But the primary focus is to take ownership of that fact that yes, today could be the last day, just like any day. 2 years ago could have been last day. 3 years ago it could have been last day. It could have been the last day every single day. And making most of every single day is that daily concept that needs to be ingrained in your brain, like my brain, right? This is the daily repetition of what are you doing every single day to make an impact on people and your life in specific. What are you producing that is of value? So in that sense, in the next sort of level of where we could spend our time, right? Or we can spend our time consuming information. We can consume our time play video games, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, right? So that's totally up to you what you want to do in life. Nothing wrong with it, right? But my encouragement is to continuing pursuing other passions in life besides video games. I think it's a big theme. It's about video games. Yeah, you, like the concept, video games, you want to do it, you want to do it properly, you want to be a professional. If that's the target and goal and mindset. Otherwise, it kills time. It really does. It kills time where there's other things that you could potentially be doing where it could bring you even more value, and it's about planning ahead. But today is about open-mindedness, right? Open-mindedness is to be able again to have the ability to sit down and have a conversation about any topic and have the ability to agree of to agree of the possibility of success and failure of the subject, and not to I think it's it comes from the best way to put it. It's about racism and about sexism. Like, I'm a boy, I'm a girl, blah 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 blah. Racial issues. Not being open to the fact that we are all created equal in terms of we all have two eyes, one nose, one mouth, two ears. Okay, we're in the same category. In terms of at the end of the day too, we're all animals and we're all people and creatures that live on this earth. And what's our main commonality? We're all trying to survive and live and elevate our situation. And no matter where you're at, or where you live, or you're rock, you're stone, you're a ant on the floor, and all you want to do is simply survive. And it's in the past, of course, it's about self-centered, like. It also is survival of the fittest, right? Yeah, you have more money, more power, right? You have more control, and you get to dictate what happens, which is just as well as the situation. You have the power, survival of the fittest, right? So it's that sort of mentality where having an open mind is that okay? Is that bad? In terms of one of the things that we really learn about in self-development and having an elevated mindset is that right and wrong doesn't exist. It's one of the fundamental fact that this is a fundamental fact that I have already discovered this or theory at the point. I thought it was more my theory, but it's like there's people out there that do agree is that right and wrong doesn't exist. It's just a interpretation that it's right and it's wrong. Right and time doesn't exist, and what I say is that time does. Only time will tell you what you're saying is right or wrong, which is it's a fundamental more of the present, because it's about what stage in time you're looking at, right? Was sacrificing people good or right today? Probably not. In most of the countries that we live in. But if you're talking about 200 years ago, sacrificing was part of a normal routine that people do because that's part of their culture. Right? That's what it is. It's about sacrificing. If you don't sacrifice, you don't get. It's like, in that sense, it's simple, right? And that's understanding why they think that way, right? Time. We have a black president, Barack Obama, from 2008. Right, 100 years ago, they can't even be on a bus, right? So it's just the way how we think as a society too shifted and changed and developed, right? And now's the time where people have a little bit even more openness, but there's always obviously more noise around to make that confusion of brainwashing. Oh, I'm brainwashing you. I'm like, what's brainwashing? It's a perspective of, are you open-minded? Am I brainwashing you, or am I just giving you information? That's all I'm doing at the end of the day. I'm not telling you to do anything besides, if you're watching it, you find some information entertaining or some value. That's it. But yeah, that's for today, and we'll talk tomorrow.